Good morning, guys. How are you? For today's session, we're going to start seeing our third model, which is the last model, right? What is going to be the idea that you're taking into account all the parameters or characteristics you have to bear in mind at the moment you're going to send them. All right. So here, right there, you're going to find the syllables according to this third model, the glossary and the topics for this current model. So the first one of these was present perfect. The second one is would like, which is according to not only the study of this verb but also there are some verbs which are kind of similar that we're going to see them. Zero and first conditionals, all right? So here, for our model 3, we have the following topic, corporative culture interview. So according to this topic, you have to take into account that there are like different grammar topics right there. And the idea is that you are going to use all of them at the moment you are going to create your activities. There is only one activity for this model 3, and later you're going to take your final test. So present perfect to have, past participle, verb ing plus infinitive, like one would like, W questions in past and zero first conditional, all right? So our first homework or text there is the following. Corporate cultures interview there is going to be available during during today until 16 the 16, all right? Maybe there is a mistake right there, you're going to see it in your activities schedule or in your syllables. And later we have the final test that is going to be right there the days. And don't forget to present your glossary. Remember that this one or is the deadline is 1 week per glossary. So right there, okay. So right here we have like a lot of examples and uses according to present perfect. When do we use present perfect? To talk about activities that is starting in the past but continues into the present. So as you can see right there, um, well, there are like four uses. The first one is for since, up to now, so far, already, just, recently, and yet, ever, and never. Like all of them are important and all of them we use in different moments, right? So to talk about one state that is starting in the past and continues until now or into the present. There is idea according to this. For example, in Spanish, you can say the following. Yo he vivido en Bogotá desde que era niña, right? Yo he trabajado en Bogotá desde que tenía 20 años. All of those examples are referring to an action that is starting before, but is not finished. It continues. It's in progress. All right. So this one is the definition. Then you're going to take into account those words to study them more in detail. And let's start with the first part. So when you're taking into account this description, this meaning of distance, you can see right here, I have lived in England for 5 years. You are talking about the length of time you are spending or you are living in a place. In this case, you can say, I have lived in Bogota for 20 years, or there are more examples. I had been an engineer since 2005, right? If you're talking about this part, okay, of course, he's referring to a specific period of time. Always in English, that when mentioning a year, we have to use this word, which is like a preposition that we use right there before the year. Okay? Entonces decimos, yo he sido un ingeniero desde el 2005. You can say, I have been a psychologist since 2010. Or there are like more examples. Good. I haven't seen Steve since last week. If you're referring to an action that, for example, in this case, that you're referring to simple past, right? Ustedes dicen, yo no he visto a Steve desde la semana pasada. You're referring to a specific period of time, but it means that this action continues into the past, you can say it started in the past and continues into the present, but it doesn't change. The result of it is the same. Later, we have yet, ever, and never. I have never been to Spain, right? You are referring to that place you have never visited. I have never been to France, okay? That is the other word. When do we use those words? When you want to express a life experience about something that happened or in your life, or maybe something that you haven't experienced so far. It means that you haven't done it. I haven't seen the movie yet. For example, suppose that right now the boom of the movies is Avengers. So people say no, the cinemas are full. And for example, last week I visited Kalima shopping mall and I didn't find any tickets available to watch the movie. So I haven't seen the movie yet. Yo aún no he visto esta película, right? That is going to be the idea according to this sentence. And finally, we have the party was the worst I have ever been to. When you refer to this sentence, as you can see right there, you are referring to like you are comparing this party with others, right? Esta fiesta fue la peor que yo he tenido. En este caso estamos refiriéndonos a alguna situación específica, but you're comparing this situation with other ones. So you're referring that I have ever been to, but this party was the worst, right, in the history. Or you can say, for example, the party was the best I have ever been to. It depends according to it. If you really want to emphasize that one situation was good or wasn't good, right? So you can use this instruction. So the party, or you can say the trip was the best or the worst I have ever been to, or I have ever stayed. It depends according to the action you really want to mention and focus on. You are going to change this part and this part, of course, because that is the situation. Either the adjective, because if you really want to like focus on other kind of activities, so you can do it. Third one, the third use is already, just, and recently. When do we use those words? When you really want to talk about recent past events, right? She has recently changed jobs. There is going to be, you are talking about a specific period of time. Ella recientemente ha cambiado de trabajo. In this part, you're referring that this person has done like an activity that interrupts another process. So that is important to like to mention that she has recently started going to the gym. For example, it could be the other one. The next example is I have just finished lunch. I'm not hungry, right? When you're referring to this, so you are mentioning that yo justo ya finalicé de almorzar. No estoy hambrienta. If you really want to say that you already done one activity and you are not interested in doing other work, so you can use it. So later on, we have up to now and so far. Okay, as you can see right there in this part, to say that something has happened several times, right? When you really want to do an action, it depends about where you really want to. So maybe you focus on it. For instance, there are some people who have different hobbies, or we can say like activities you used to do in the past, or maybe you continue doing them in the present. So if it's your case, you can use those expressions. So the first example that you consider here is up to now I have completed 5 reports, right? Hasta ahora, yo he completado 5 reportes. In this case, you're not only checking those reports right now. No, you starting checking them before. That's why you are mentioning that at the moment that the other person is asking you how many reports you are checking or you are completing, you can say that up to now I have completed 5 reports. Okay. So for this morning I have made 3 phone calls. It refers that for one specific time, for example, like this morning, I have made 25 notifications, for example. Once when I arrive here to my work, yes, I can count the number of notifications I have per day. So that is going to be another example. I had been to France twice so far this year. Yes, that is going to be the other one. So I have been to France, I have been to Melgar twice, 3 years, 5 years. Ok. Recordemos que el so far hace referencia al hasta ahora, right? But you're referring to a specific period of time this year. Maybe you went to France before, so but you really want to count just the number of this activity in regards to or up to now. So, present perfect positive sentences. Remember the instruction that we had in this grammar tense? It is not difficult, but just the idea of this one is have clear the information according to the use of it. As you can see right there, we have only two uses. Well, has and have. When do we use have for has for third person? He, she, it, and have for plural and the first person. This one is a contraction. It means it's the shorter word to write it or use when you speak. The most of the times when we use contractions is once when we are speaking, because it is not necessary to say like the complete word. Sometimes you just may mention those shorter words, and it's okay to do it. But the most of the times when we are writing, yeah, there is like a formal activity, it is better to use the complete right here, the complete model in regards to this tense and all the tenses. I had been to Moscow. You have finished the exercise. He has just gone home. She has already had a holiday this year. It has broken. We have seen this film before. They have bought a new car. As you can see right there, there is a similarity according to the verbs. All of them have. So, for instance, in the case of the first one, I had been. Been is the past participle of be. Finished is the past participle of finish. Gone is the past participle of go. Had, past participle of have. Broken, past participle of break. Seen, past participle of see. And bought, past participle of buy, right? I haven't is a contraction, or I have not. Third person, he has not or he hasn't. Yeah, look at see the differences according to the pronunciation as well as the written way we use them. So for the first one, you can say the following: I haven't been abroad yet. You haven't answered my question. He hasn't been home for 5 years. She has not found a new job. It has not finished yet. We haven't worked on a farm and they haven't seen each other for ages. Right there, yet, it is used for negative statement referring to yo aún no he viajado al exterior, if you want to say that. Or it could be true or not, it depends on your case, right? The other word, it hasn't finished yet, right? For example, you are preparing a meal and you go to the kitchen, but you can see that the meal is not ready yet. So you can use this example and so on. For the interrogative sentence, we're going to use first of all have or has as required, depends of the subject. As I explained before, if we use third person, we have to make use of has, or in other case, have. The verb with ed, which is like a regular verb, but if not, there is a list of verbs that we use when we talk about present perfect, so the past participle of them. Sometimes they change completely. Have John and Michael played football? This one is a regular verb. You just add ed and that's it. Or in the second one, has she written the letter? It's a little bit different. This written is referring to the action. This person is it's referring to like a past participle verb. Okay? Irregular verbs, we have run, tall, drink, drunk, drunk, eat, ate, eaten, and put up. All right. So the first one, the simple past, we change it, but in the past participle, according to the present tense, is the same. Tell, it's different of told, drink, drunk, eat, eaten, and put. So it depends, sorry, it depends of the verb. Yes, for example, if you're referring to a verb that needs to be followed by ed, it's okay. But if no, just remember to change it. Some of them change, the most of them, but some of them don't. Regular verbs, verbs with ed, work, worked, laugh, laughed, study, studied. Remember the pronunciation. For this one, when we have K before ET, the correct pronunciation, this word like transforms or becomes into a T, like the consonant worked. Love. When we have like a vowel sound before D or V, we are going to pronounce this part like D. Love. And study, studied. Yes, we just pronounce it at the end of if. Studied. Let's practice like one would like. You like eating pizza every Saturday to eat. She likes to run around the park running. I like to share time with my family. Okay. All of them, as you can see, they have like some things in common. The first one is we are using library in three different situations. For the first one, as you can see right there, you can just name the verb with ing right away after like. She likes to run is another possibility and it's completely okay, so you can do it. And I like to share time with my family. The differences between those two sentences are the following. So, likes because you are talking about third person, and to run it's okay because you are using an infinitive, or you can use the verb in general. Both of them are correct. And I like to share time. So, right here in the middle, all like and share is the other possibility. So we want to improve the results, right? We want to travel. That is going to be the other option. Would like, I would like to design a new Flash application, and she would like to play. So remember something, guys. Me gustaría diseñar, me gustaría jugar. When you refer to that exercise. So instead of conditional, there is another way to use conditions when you really want to talk about facts or real things, things that you can change, even if you would like to make a change and it's not possible to do it. For example, if you don't water flowers, they die. Es a fact, es un hecho, es algo real, no se puede modificar. Si tú no riegas las flores, ellas mueren. Yes, of course, there is going to be like the condition according to this. So if clause, present simple, main clause, present simple or imperative, and the present simple is used in both clauses. ¿Okay? En el ser conditional, en el condicional cero, nosotros vamos a utilizar presente simple para ambas cláusulas, es decir, tanto para la primera parte que va con el if, que es la condición, como para la segunda parte, que es la consecuencia. Recordemos tener mucho cuidado en el momento en que nosotros vayamos a utilizar tercera persona, dado que si así es el caso, debemos de agregar una S o una IS en el momento en que vayamos a hacer este tipo de oraciones. Okay? So, another thing important to mention is that este if, this if, you can put just at the very beginning of the sentence or in the middle. Both of them are possible to do. Just like don't confuse according to the moment you are going to conjugate it. So if you're going to put if right here, it is because you're going to mention the first part of the sentence. So I can say that they die if you don't water flowers. It's okay, it's understandable, it is another possible way to do it. For our first conditional, is for in this way, and we have it present simple plus will plus infinity. We use the first conditional to talk about possible future events that depend on other future events. Yes, of course. So you are talking about that you really want to do this to achieve the other thing. Yeah? For our first conditional, we are going to use the following: if present simple plus will plus infinity, right? If you buy a laptop, you will play video games online. As you can see right there, donde tenemos el if, esa parte va a ir en presente, este verbo. Si nosotros compramos un portátil, o si tú compras un portátil, tú pagarás por los videojuegos en línea, right? If I get a time machine, I will predict how my future will be like. Yes? Okay. So this one is according to another prediction. Recordemos que el will lo utilizamos para futuro o podemos también hacer uso del want. It depends if you want to mention a positive or a negative sentence. Other possible patterns in the first conditional are: if we save enough money, we can go on holiday, which is the modal verb can. If you see him, tell him to give me a right, imperative or an order. Yes, right there, for example, for the first one, if you save enough money, we can buy a car, we can buy a house, or whatever. If you see him, tell him to give me a ring. It's an imperative, it's an order, there is another thing that we can do it. Perfect. Okay. For our first conditional, we're going to see what we have. So if I receive a gift for Christmas, I will be happy. If we play tennis today, we will lose some weight. If you save money, you will go to jail. Those are the possibilities that could happen according to each situation. It doesn't mean that it's always true, but sometimes it is, so you can do it. If she's coming this weekend, we will arrange a dream to attack. Second conditional, that is the use of it, but let's see. Let's focus on zero and first condition. For this first conditional, we're going to complete those sentences taken into account in the previous explanation. Fill in the gaps with the right form of the verbs given to make the first conditional. If you go to the party, you will see Mary. We don't have to change it. The children are happy their mother allows them to go to the party. If I win the lottery, I will buy a new house, a big house in this case. My mother will be angry if I come home late, right? Recordemos que en este caso la condición va al inicio, es decir, que en este tipo de oración, la oración número 4, aquí es donde vamos a utilizar esta parte en presente y acá al otro lado que sería el resultado en futuro. If it, if doesn't rain, we can have a picnic. If you see him, please tell him to call me. If Jane passed all her exams, her parents would be very pleased. If you ask her, she will come, or will she come if you ask her? Yes, the second one because it's the correct option to use those verbs. And finally, we may go to the beach if the weather is good. Okay, This one is the first activity. You have to send it to me, so which is about corporative cultures interview. Don't forget the dates. So remember to take into account that you have to use present perfect like one would like that we saw it before. W questions. Recordemos que el W questions, que ya lo habíamos mencionado anteriormente, hace referencia a aquellas palabras que indican un tipo de interrogación específico acerca de alguna situación. Si nosotros decimos con quién vives, ese con, which is who, is referring to what kind of population you really want to focus on. If you're referring to a place, you can use where, donde. If you're referring to time, you can use when, and so on. The idea for this activity is to record an interview video of you asking about corporative cultures. Include extend questions with answers using the present perfect, like one would like, W questions in past, zero, and first conditional. Okay? What do you have to say? Create an interview video using www.screencastformatic.com. The sentences, questions, and answers then should appear in the presentation, and you can use different images. Also, you should appear in the video, and you should talk with fluency in the video. Those are the steps and the thing that you have to take into account at the moment you're going to send your work. Okay, don't forget it. And the final test, that is all for today. Okay, guys, so thank you so much for your attention. I hope this video class was useful for you. I hope that you understand all the topics. Remember to contact me if needed. And also, it is important that you start making some exercises online. Yes, you can go right there and you are going to start practicing those topics. And also, don't forget to include your glossary at the moment you are making your tasks. All right, so that is all for today. Have a great day. Bye bye.